Hi friend, today's class is going to focus on movements that help us after we've been sitting all day. These are also great to do before you expect to sit all day. So if your job requires a lot of sitting, you know that you probably have some upper back or lower back pain. And that's because a lot of the times when we sit, we are putting strain on certain muscles and underusing others. When we get into a routine of using the same muscles over and over again, our bodies can feel tired or painful in those positions. You may feel neck strain from looking down at a computer or desk. You might notice tightness in your shoulder blades and upper back muscles. You may experience lower back pain or sciatica. Maybe you have started to have poor posture and you want to work on that. When we finally try to counteract those positions that our bodies are used to, the new muscles that we try to use feel rusty and they don't want to move as easily as they once did. So standing up straight or trying to fix your posture may feel like work or even cause some pain because we're so used to hunching over. So today we're going to work on ways to counteract those positions and to try and strengthen and elongate muscles that we're not used to using while we've been sitting a lot. So you can make your way to a tabletop position now where your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Flip your wrists around so that your fingers are pointing behind you and feel that nice stretch through your wrists and your forearms. This is an excellent position to stretch out your wrists if you've been working at a computer all day and maybe you have some slight carpal tunnel or you just want to stretch your wrists out. And if you're not at a desk or a computer all day, this is a great way to warm up your wrists before we do downward dog or if we're on our hands a lot. And this class will have a good amount of downward dog in it in between different movements. So take a few moments here to stretch out those wrists. Now we're going to move into a gate pose by flipping our wrists back to normal and then extending our left leg out behind us as we pivot on our right knee. So your left leg is kind of straight and then your right leg is pointed so that your foot is back behind you. As you inhale, lift your arm up above your head and be sure that the hand that you're resting on is directly under your shoulder and not out too much further past that. You can gaze towards your hand or up at the sky and feel that nice long stretch in your side body. Now your side body is the space in between your ribs, along the sides of your spine, your lat muscles, and outer leg muscles. Now you can come back to a tabletop position and we're going to switch to do the other side. So extend your right leg out towards the short edge of your mat and pivot on your left knee so that your foot is back behind you. As you inhale, stretch your right arm up above your head and you can look up towards that hand or up at the sky. So this gate pose helps us to stretch a lot of the muscles that we use to breathe. So stretching and elongating these muscles every day can do a lot of work for our health. Take just a few more moments here to feel that really nice stretch. And now you can come back to a tabletop position. Once you're in tabletop position, you can curl your toes under you, lift up through your feet and your hands, and then shift your weight back through your hips so that you're in downward facing dog. So now we're going to gaze kind of a little bit further back past our feet, but you're looking through your legs back behind you. You want most of your weight to be spread out throughout your feet and your hands, but you don't want to be putting all the weight in your hands. So a lot of it's going to your back feet. And you want to make sure that your back is very long and not curled over your shoulders. So it's great if you have a bend in your knee. You don't have to worry about having straight legs, but you would like to think about having a straight back. Downward dog helps to lengthen the hamstrings and calves, and it develops upper body strength. It's an inversion, so it also helps with circulation, and that is usually not great after sitting for a long period of day. So now you can step your right foot up between your hands and let your left knee drop down to the mat. Lift your chest up so that you are in a low lunge. Take a second here to gain your balance. And as you inhale, raise your arms up above your head. And as you exhale, lower your arms down and then behind you. Grasp your hands together and interlace your fingers. On your next inhale, lift your chest while gently sliding your hands down away from your shoulders. Stay here for a few breaths. This is a low lunge with locust arms. And locust arms helps us to open up our chest and upper back, which is a great counter movement for sitting at a desk or steering wheel all day long. On your next exhale, place your hands down on the mat on either side of your right foot and then step back into downward dog. Now we're going to take a few breaths here in downward dog, and then we'll repeat the low lunge with locust arms on our other leg. So step forward with your left foot, place it in between your hands, drop your right knee down, and then lift your chest up so that you're in a low lunge. Take a moment to find your balance here. And as you inhale, raise your arms up above your head. And then as you exhale, drop your arms down by your sides and then behind your back. Interlace your fingers, and on that exhale, gently pull your hands down and away from your shoulders. If you'd like to lean back a little bit to do a slight back bend, that's fine too. But I kind of find this to be enough for me, so I'm going to stay right here. Being in a lunge position helps us to open up our hips, which are constantly in flexion while we sit all day. On your inhale, raise your arms up above your head, and as you exhale, plant your hands down at your feet. Move your left foot back to meet your right foot, curl your toes under, and lift back towards downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breaths here, and again, be sure to have a slight bend in your knee or a moderate bend in your knee, whatever is comfortable for you, so that your back is nice and straight. As you inhale, bring your right foot in between your hands and then lift up into a high lunge. Take a moment here to find your balance, and then as you inhale, raise your arms up above your head, and as you exhale, bring your elbows down to basically make a field goal post like in football. This is another way to stretch out our upper back muscles while opening our hip flexors. On your next inhale, drop your hands down by your sides, lift them up above your head, and as you exhale, plant your hands on either side of your right foot and shift back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here as we lengthen our spine and feel a stretch in our legs. And as you inhale, bring your left foot forward in between your hands, lift up through your chest into a high lunge. Exhale, and then on your next inhale, bring your arms up above your head, and then exhale back into that field goal post position with your elbows. This is also called cactus arms. Take a moment to feel that nice stretch through your upper back. You may feel some strengthening in your arms here as well. And as you inhale, drop your hands down at your sides, raise them up above your head, and exhale, plant your hands on either side of your foot. Step back into downward facing dog. Take a few moments here to breathe in downward facing dog or if you'd like to, you can shift down into child's pose. Now you can slowly make your way down to the mat so that you're laying on your belly and your legs are stretched out behind you. Once you are comfortable on your stomach on your mat, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers kind of along the top of your butt, and gently lift up through your chest as you pull your hands down closer to your feet. This is kind of difficult to explain, but basically we're doing locust arms like we did before in the low lunge to stretch out that upper back. Now you can bring your hands out in front of you, sweep them back behind you, and do it one more time. If you'd like a more challenging position, you can lift your legs up about 6 inches off the ground as well, but it's totally normal not to. I am doing that here mainly because I don't want to tickle my feet with the grass. And now you can shift back into child's pose to lengthen and stretch out that back and spine. Notice how your body feels here in child's pose as we have moved a lot of muscles that maybe we haven't been used to moving lately. And child's pose is a great position to kind of take a moment and feel how we feel. Now you can slowly make your way to a seated cross-legged position. Sit up nice and tall and allow your shoulders to fall down so that they're not up around your ears. Place your hands on your knees and close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Once again, notice how your body feels after we've completed those movements. You probably thought that your muscles weren't quite used to doing those things, and that's completely normal. It may be that those muscles are being overused or underused at work. Whether you sit up tall at your desk or slouch over, it's using different muscles for an extended period of time. So it's great to take a few moments before or after work to move your body in ways that are opposite of sitting all day. Sitting a lot during the day causes our hips to be very tight, and tight hips can cause lower back pain, sciatica, hip tightness, and overall discomfort in our legs. Sitting at the desk can also cause upper back issues if you sit at a desk with a computer or if you're driving a lot. And over time, this can cause a rounding in our upper back or poor posture in general. Now, I'm not saying any of this to make you feel bad. Most of us are all in the same situation. So just take a few moments and think about how it felt to move your body in ways to counteract what you're used to, and whether you would like to continue doing so to help your muscles feel better. On your next inhale, we're going to take the deepest breath that we've taken all day long. So prepare for it now and inhale, raise your arms up above your head. Take the deepest breath you can. And as you exhale, lower your arms down back at your sides and let all that air out. I hope you have a great rest of your day.